All right.
This is commentary for Petarded. I'm here with David Goodman.
Hi.
And Chris Sheridan.
Hello.
And Alex Selkin and Wellesley Wild, who
Hi there.
wrote their first Family Guy episode ever, and also their first episode of produced television ever. Huh?
Hey, congratulations, guys.
Quick 22-minute story. Actually, I sent my dad a package of charity stuff, and including this episode with Petarded right on the front, and then realized that the charity was for mentally challenged kids. Right?
Oh, that's nice.
Recall that.
I met Alec and Wellesley on a show called The Pits that was ran for 3 or 4 episodes on Fox.
Story.
Oh.
And
Google it.
yeah, Google it. It was created by the very talented Mike Scully, who
Very
ran
talented.
The Simpsons
Very nice.
for many
Scully.
years. Wonderful, wonderful man.
Very
and,
nice person.
And
You
we
stayed in
have,
touch with him at karaoke, right? You would sing karaoke with him once a week, right?
with Mike Scully.
No, with these buzzers.
Oh yeah,
All right,
yeah. That's right.
It was the longest job interview we'll ever have.
It went well, though.
Yes.
This is actually our 3rd attempt at a commentary on Petarded.
Yeah, backstory on the comic.
We couldn't seem to get the right cut of the episode in here, but everything's fine now.
So far.
We're pretty sure.
When we get to the song,
There were some standards issues with the show, weren't there, Seth?
There were, David, as a matter of fact.
All right. Nobody fire at Lois. She's scared. All right, 1, 2, 3, go!
Oh, damn it, Peter, that hurt.
Relax, Quagmire. You're doing better than Peter Weller from the opening scene of RoboCop.
Well, now that the mess is all cleaned up and we're back from the emergency room, it's time for the last game of the night, Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, man, I hate Trivial Pursuit. Always makes me feel so stupid.
More stupid than that time you locked your keys out of the car?
Damn it. Hey! Somebody! Hey, sir, you see those keys there? Sir? Oh, screw you! All right, Brian, this one's for you. What naturally occurring element has the highest melting point of all metals?
Cadmium?
Sorry, tungsten. Dumbass. My turn. What do you got?
Okay, here we go.
Didn't Tom
What
Tucker say it at
color
some
is a
point?
fire truck?
Wait a minute, you're Peter Griffin, the retarded fellow.
Is that what he said?
I don't
sounds
know.
just like
I think we changed that.
That does sound like it.
Although actually, the word retard is much worse
Than retarded.
in their view.
But also we had to cut, well, I guess we'll get to that later about the song. But
Peter's refused to the preschool edition. Just let him have his moment.
do you remember whose idea this episode was? I don't.
I think it was Seth's.
I believe it was Seth's idea.
Yeah.
As
You don't have to say that just because I'm here.
No,
I
I
actually think it was your idea.
mean, I remember you talking about it. I didn't remember whether you had, stolen it from someone else.
Yeah,
It depends
Seth
on who's
Green
asking.
comes
If it's the Television Academy, then yes, it was. If it's the American Association of Retarded Persons, then it was Alex's idea.
That's the AARP.
That's right. That's
Actually,
right.
this fire engine gag also was something we added. Was Seth's idea, I think, or was it
I
Callahan's?
don't know
it
that
was
this was.
Callahan.
Yeah.
Callahan's
It was
idea.
based on a Callahan seed that he planted,
And I believe
it just
the
grew in the room.
the ambulances will have to wait their turn was an Alex Selkin pitch.
The answer is Phyllis Diller.
Peter, you're reading the pink.
My turn.
Okay, Peter, this is for the win. Say the word what?
Wow. Okay. This really separates the men from the boys.
Peter, just say what.
Yeah, Lois, this is not a race. Okay, I want to say who. Fantastic Four.
Anyway, so
Oh
this
my
is
God.
Alec and one of their last scripts for Family Guy.
Yes.
Harmless guy.
You may want to blot that out there.
Oh my God, I won.
Have the legal department really blot something out that should be blotted out for a change.
Oh, what a feeling. Oh, this is even better than that time I met Time at a cheese guy.
Mark Henneman.
That was Mark Henneman's joke.
That was in our original.
Now, originally you got this hunk of cheese guy to do the voice, but you felt like his voice.
He sounded so old.
This is I'm sorry, this was a reference to an ABC. What was it? ABC
was
Saturday morning.
ABC's Saturday morning public service announcement that everyone should eat more cheese.
You know, it's good for you.
After
It was
school.
like
They ran with the chopper.
yeah, the chopper. Exercise those choppers, really
Exercise those
chew,
choppers.
chew.
Don't drown your food.
But you got the guy who did the voice, and he was too old. Was that what it
Yeah,
was?
it was a little old. It was tough to understand what he was. He didn't even remember when we showed him the footage. He didn't remember
Doing it.
doing it.
I'm a tumor.
Yeah, from a story standpoint, originally, I think Peter just got lucky with the Trivial Pursuit getting easy questions, and I think it was David's idea to switch it so that Brian was like slipping in some junior trivia questions
Great
to
idea,
Peter,
David.
which I
That
thought
was
was
a
a
very
great,
good idea.
That was a great fix.
Great
Excellent
fix.
idea.
That Rock Me Amadeus we almost didn't get. We had to
Everything all right, Peter?
track down Falco.
Wasn't it originally something?
And
It was,
took
it was
us-
hard to find him, right?
Yeah, hard to find. We had to track. We found them somewhere in Germany, but they were just impossible to track down, so that we could ask them if we could use their song. And finally, we got a hold of them. And but every once in a while, it takes a while sometimes. And some of these more obscure songs, like "Rock Me Amadeus," some of the lesser known
Hit in its time. MacArthur Genius Grant, real thing.
Cloris Leachman playing herself here.
How was she to work with?
She was.
Actually, I did. The
Yeah, you did
recording.
that. I wasn't in
She-
here for that.
She was great. She totally happy to work.
Spanglish. Recently. She works.
Of course.
I don't think Peter's doing well on this test.
No.
No, he's
Already some clues that he might not be as smart as he thinks.
I don't think he's going to get the grant.
That's what we like to do, lay in little signposts early on. Guess where it's going,
This is
audience.
the deconstructionist commentary.
What did we have here originally at the end of this act? I can't remember. This was
It was.
pee in my pants, right?
Yes.
The standards didn't want to let us
that's
do it,
right.
right?
Would a retarded person have peed in his pants, and then Peter pees in his pants?
And standards wouldn't let us.
Another point for science there, under the creationists at the bottom of the.
Another joke that rewards repeated viewing
Yes,
by
yes.
the DVDs.
The Big Bang is got a lot of support. Live with it.
There we go.
Hello?
This was in Alec and Leslie's first draft. As I remember.
Along with many of the other jokes.
Yes.
Okay, buddy.
Probably the highest
I don't
percentage.
remember-
I don't
of
know.
any
First
song.
time he's
It's like
mentioned that.
80%
I
retention.
don't remember any of the other.
We're
jokes
in
being
the second
first
act.
draft.
That's the first time that's been brought up.
But seriously,
No,
it was
come
really fun
on.
first draft.
There's a thermostat from episode 1.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
It's our homage.
Oh, and that was a Chris
That was a
Sheridan
Chris
joke.
Sheridan.
He's sitting
That
right
was
here.
me, and I did that in Seth's face, and he almost fired me, actually.
And this is the beauty of DVD is that you can hear it without the bleeps.
Fuck.
You know where that word comes from, Wellesley?
Oh, Jesus.
Fornication under command of the king. Can we get back to
Fornication
the-
under command of the king. That's right. It means
Every other commentary has this.
after the Black Plague, Europeans were
Is this...
ordered to repopulate, make the country strong again.
Oh boy.
All right, I'll stop.
Tell me where hook and crook comes from, too.
I have no idea.
Well, I'll tell you.
I mean, what's the purpose?
Oh, really, Wellesley? That sounds fascinating.
But Seth has issues against the alpha male, which is where the genesis of that.
Oh,
Brian
right.
screaming
Yeah.
at Peter,
The alpha male's fighting in that bar.
Not a big fan of him, Seth.
Neither of us are, really.
I'm not going to tell that story again.
Well, Chris,
We
did
were
you
all
Good.
picked
No one's
on
heard
at
it.
some point.
That was the last commentary we dumped. So.
Did you just swing it back to your joke again?
trying to bring it up. That's
Okay.
the only thing I pitched all year. So.
A lot of handsome men in this room, by the way.
Yeah, we're 4 out of 5.
Seriously.
Which 4?
This song
Someone's
coming up.
uncomfortable.
This song
Four
coming
good
up, by the
writers
way.
too.
Oh,
This is from Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh,
and,
yes.
This song we were not allowed.
We're not allowed to show on the air because they felt that there were too many uses of the word retarded in this song. This is where they drew the line. But this is one of those for the real the real fans of obscurities. Not only is this the actual song, the old arrangements from the movie were dug up, and our orchestra played them live, and it was very exciting.
This was in our original draft, and this was Alex's idea to do it to this song.
Oh, well, had a lot of help from
Only
this
on
guy next to me.
DVD.
Chris,
Yeah.
you're sitting next to him. He was.
What did he say?
You helped him a lot.
They
on
can't
script.
see.
I was zoning out. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, I was talking about Wellesley.
Oh, I misinterpreted.
I fell asleep for a second during that song.
Sweet Finn.
You don't like the song?
No, I love the song. I'm just kidding. Shit.
These water wings didn't help at all.
Turns out he needed all that stuff.
Well, except for the wings didn't.
Let the
help at all.
jokes play out.
I'm sorry. Got ahead of it.
Jesus Christ.
Now here we'll get to see whether Tom Tucker says,
This is.
I got a lot of calls about this gag.
Could this take it any worse?
Is that Danny?
Danny Smith's voice.
The,
He's Asian like Andy.
the
Rooney
Irish
in,
the Irish steel worker playing the Asian guy.
It's the voice
Danny-
of the salesman as well.
Andy
Dan-
Rooney and
Danny Smith is the
Japanese guy.
one writer on the show who, unlike the rest of us, actually has had a real
Life?
real job. He worked in a factory, he worked in a steel mill. He's like a real guy, you know.
I
Me,
think
I've
others
just- me,
of
I've
us
just
have
been-
had jobs before. So.
Me,
I
I've
gotta
just
say,
been-
I'm a little scared of him. I've always been a little worried. He'll snap one day.
There you go. He says Peter Griffin, the retarded
He did
fella.
call him retarded.
Oh.
Get away with anything.
And on the sixth day, God said, "Let the earth bring forth a living creature."
That's Gary Cole from
Office
Midnight
Space.
Caller.
We had some other gags in here that I guess never
I-
quite played.
That were really funny. I thought.
There was
like,
one-
They're
What
all
were they?
equally-
There was one where
How loud
the,
can I yell?
Right.
well, the Patriots were playing, and Peter runs onto the field and tackles the
Oh, yeah.
an opponent running for a touchdown.
Right. But none of them stayed in.
Nicole
Yeah,
Sullivan.
they weren't that funny.
Say hello to my state-appointed inspirational social
Well,
worker.
he just said that.
Well, I mean, they weren't really.
This is LeVar Burton.
Famous for playing. You know what's interesting about LeVar is that he has a black, large black SUV with a private license plate that says Kunta for the character Kunta Kinte that he plays.
Is that true?
That's absolutely true.
And,
I was going to get egg now.
in Roots for the younger viewers who weren't around to enjoy that in 1977.
And this was also in the original draft, Wellesley's idea.
Well, you know what?
To
So much of
play
it is
on-
that it's almost.
You know,
redundant for
LeVar
20 hours.
directed me in my episode of Enterprise.
Funny story about that. Something about chewing gum or something.
How did you get that job? On
Well,
Enterprise?
David, you know, it's funny. David Goodman wrote for Enterprise and was gracious enough. Shit, I wouldn't remember that if you hadn't brought it up.
Fucking nerds. This is
wrote
what it's
wrote
like all
wrote for
goddamn
Enterprise and was gracious enough to. And I was there and I said, you know, LeVar, you got to come over and do Family Guy, you know. And he said, I have a million other things to do today. None of them include having this conversation with you right now.
He said that.
And I said, you know, or we don't have to have you over there. No, none of that is true. He couldn't be a nicer man.
As we enjoy our laughter.
Yeah.
I wish that we all could get more comfortable with the sound of our own voices.
Oh, they've long since stopped listening and taken out their Lone Gunman DVD sets.
Look at the attention to detail in the background.
God, is that what my voice sounds like? It's all whiny and nasally.
Originally, it was also going to be McDonald's, then it was going to be Burger King,
Right.
but there's always sponsorship issues, you know?
Yeah. People get it.
Yeah,
They get it.
they know it's a fast
know
food
it's one of those
restaurant.
I get
They
it.
understand.
Who else has a fire lighter like that you can just lift up and throw at your wife?
This gag coming up was what everyone expected to happen in Mask. By the way, if you haven't seen the movie Mask, watch it, and you'll appreciate this joke so much more.
Was
than
this
if you-
Alex that came up with this? Or
Yeah.
she just pitched it?
Yeah.
I think Alex Borstein that pitched this, and
I think she pitched it. I don't know if it was her idea.
I don't know if it was her idea, but she pitched it.
the first time that
Oh, that's right. It was a gag room.
the first time that she touches his face, you really, when you watch the movie, do expect her to have this reaction. Like, my God, what the? You're not anything like I thought you would be.
Services.
When we come up to places in the script where we have these flashbacks or cutaways, usually we send 3 or 4 writers off to a separate room to come up with a bunch of different funny alternates for stuff that could happen.
Sometimes called the gag room.
Called the gag room.
Always
Joke
called
room.
the gag room.
That was I love this scene.
Vern bathing Peter.
But
He's got
that
the helmet on just in case. There's
You never
water.
know what happens.
the voice of what's the character's name again? I'm sorry.
Agent Jessup, a friend of ours. We named it
John
after a friend of
Viner.
ours.
John
The orange
Viner.
juice
John
guy.
Viner is a writer on the show. Also, you know him from the orange juice commercials. Where he's on a desert island with a
Great
monkey.
actor, mediocre writer.
Wow.
I
Now-
think John's
Well,
a
he's
very
not
ta-
gonna hear
very talented writer.
Originally, didn't we have a whole setup here where the kids, different kids stayed with the different...
Yes.
Someone stayed with Joe, and someone
Right.
stayed with Cleveland, and
Yeah, where somebody stayed with
someone stayed with Quagmire.
Oh, you know what? Stewie stayed with Cleveland, and Meg stayed with Quagmire.
Chris stayed with the Goldmans.
And then
Right.
Yeah.
And Quagmire made Meg lock him in a like a safe room because he couldn't trust himself with
That
her
was
friends.
And
in
Mort
the funnier
Goldman-
original draft.
Mort Goldman told Chris
That was
about
very
his
funny.
about it that he was bi-anus. I'm
Yes.
bi-anus.
That's right.
Somehow Mort Goldman, we find out, has 2 anuses.
Yeah, we lost that.
They wouldn't let us do
Oh, it was funny.
We replaced it with this stuff.
Yeah, this wasn't funny at all.
Quagmire, frustrated, feeling that he was entitled to something.
Yeah,
Indignant.
the sense
like
of sexual
this is
entitlement
just
is
wrong.
Take the time to hide behind the couch at the girls' slumber party that he's somehow entitled to.
And then right when he
How dare
leaves,
you.
To
right
better
when he
come.
leaves,
Right
when
the
he leaves.
action
You know what?
starts.
Boy, ain't that the luck, huh?
What was the original line? They said nipples. What was the original?
Let's compare nipples, and that's interesting to bring that up, is because
I know it was. That's why I brought it up.
this is because of Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
The word nipples is a really tough word to get because we as adults apparently are unable to get over the trauma of having seen Janet Jackson's 67-year-old breast on television. What, 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
saggy.
Second, Brian, you're right.
Nipples and
Best
poop.
way to do that is to show what a terrible father Cleveland is. This plan is so perfect, it's retarded.
Grown-ups, folks. Adults.
That's just angry.
We all go to the bathroom. Oh, Alec, this is
Hey,
you.
this is Alex's voice.
Yeah.
That's my voice.
And
Did you pitch this?
Alex Jones.
I may
too,
have.
think.
I may. I didn't remember these kind of things.
Alex did everything but draw this, and he might have drawn it. I don't know. Did you even draw this yourself?
This was in a gag room. I
is
remember
really-
after color.
Just a feat of vocal.
I remember I had to do that
Genius.
like 8 or 9 times to get my
You know
S's
what?
whistling.
It was worth it, champ.
That's Seth calls me champ.
when he's proud of him.
I know who he's talking to when he says champ.
Oh, and this is our associate producer Kim Furtman doing the voice of the. Actually, Barkley did this too, didn't she?
Yes.
Well, Sesame Street humor there
They're
for a change.
like 4'2". How tall are those? 4'2", 4'3". Cute little ladies.
They're 2 very lovely women.
They are very
Yes,
nice.
they are.
Very, very.
Agent Jessup actually kind of
nice.
looks a little like John Vine.
Yeah, a little bit.
He
Yeah.
does.
Thank you.
It's kind of a little creepy.
Thank you, Agent Jessup. You're comically
Oh,
I
that's
see.
the
Oh,
opposite.
so
We had a lot more lines like that in the first draft. He was kind of a fleshed out character at one point.
This is Phil Lamar.
that was completely original too.
Phil Lamar from Mad TV doing the voice of the judge, and
Very
Get closer
talented
to your
voice actor. We use him a lot.
he's been doing that judge since episode 1 of season 1.
Now,
Black
this is
guy,
the
respectable profession. Get used to it.
feel obliged. The ghost that never lies. I thought
What's happening to Wellesley over there? What's in his cup?
You had to say my name. Thank you.
ghost that never lies was in the first draft too. And
Oh, this was
It's
Wellesley's joke. Very, very funny.
The ghost who never lies. Very funny.
I hear a humming.
I hear humming too.
I'm hoping that's not in my own ear, because then that means I could be in trouble.
No, I'm hearing it too.
Do you smell toast?
Simultaneous cancer. Ear cancer.
Oh, apparently we're okay.
Ooh, that sounds like a wheat thing.
I hear someone chewing. Is that chewing?
Listen to us eat, America.
If you haven't turned this off by now, you're a fucking nerd.
It's like
Wow.
Wellesley's lost it.
Wow.
That's
Thing
what
is,
he's
I
like
would still
all
be
the
watching
time.
it at this
I know.
point.
I,
It would
just-
be, so it's really I make. it for
I do
myself.
not share Wellesley's point of view and urge you to continue to buy Family Guy merchandise.
Oh, Alec, be quiet. Seth, what do you have to say?
Now everybody's confused.
This judge can't figure out. It's prison that he's trying to say, but he can't.
I'm fairly certain I got a studio note about this joke that they didn't like it.
This was a Chris Sheridan joke. I'll just.
Good timing on giving you credit for that. Right after the studio didn't like it, throwing that in there. Thanks for that. Thanks for giving credit.
And now back to Jake and the.
You're like, wouldn't he know what a prison is?
Remember there was a
This
story.
is a great cutaway here.
Yeah.
This is
Danny came in and pitches. I mean, he came in from a gag room.
Who was in the gag room
Do
for
you
that?
remember who was in the gag room?
I think it was Danny, and Danny.
Anyone else
I
there?
think.
In any event, Danny came in and pitched it. I don't know whose joke it was, but
But this is Danny doing
this
the
is
voice
exactly
of the
how he
Fat
pitched
Man.
it. It was hysterical.
yeah. It's
This is a crime scene.
In a certain way, even in real life, watching Danny pitch it, it was even more sort of disgusting and pathetic.
For all you 18 to 34-year-olds that caught Jake and the Fat Man.
Yeah.
Because even though Danny doesn't look like that,
No,
you
not
get
at
the
all.
sense that sometimes he feels like that.
It's a great Joe Penny rendering.
that man has no. That fat man has no business in law enforcement, says this observer.
he couldn't chase anyone down, I don't think.
That's a great shot right there. Something very funny about his face.
I was a big fan of Cannon.
Oh my God, Lois!
This show, you don't think it's going to wrap up well, but all of a
Kind of
sudden,
all just all wraps up.
Jesus fucking
There was
Christ, is that his
actually-
wife?
All
A period of
basically-
time where we weren't quite sure how to finish it because we didn't want Peter to get the kids back, and then we sort of realized that
Some of
they
the
just release Lois from the hospital, then they can have the kids back.
Some of the fans actually noticed, commented on the fact that this was a very abrupt resolution. But to that, I would say, you know, you're not watching CSI.
I'm listening.
You know,
You know, it's interesting because they said.
wouldn't you
they
rather
wanted
we
to-
throw in more jokes and fill up the time and then hustle to the finish line at
they
the last
probably
minute?
are watching CSI, though.
they-
Everybody seems
Actually,
to
at
be.
this moment.
Is it?
Nothing. I'll get it.
We have the speech where basically Peter says, we prefer to be called little people and we're mentally superior to. and yet that satisfied them. They were like, great, you have the speech.
That was my joke, little people, by the way.
It was a good joke.
That's just pathetic.
That's a nice callback, by the way, the fire engine. That's what we call a callback.
That was a great callback.
The guys have learned a lot. Their first produced episode.
Very,
they know
very
all
impressive.
the terminology.
Very
Oh my
impressive.
God.
Oh, boy.
You know what? Maybe we'll keep him around.
If you're still listening now,
Or maybe not.
fuck you.
That's pretty much how Wellesley lives his life.
Time
No,
to
seriously,
grab
seriously.
a Kleenex
Take a
and clean
shit on
up.
your
No,
chest.
seriously. Great job, Chris.